Good morning, friends. How are we today?
It's not bad.
No, it's good. It's good.
Yeah. Nope. I'm gonna go more this way. Hello, everybody.
Good morning. How are we? We have Nurbik, Nameless Entity, Brinny Boo, Zirin, Namita. Let's see. Jessica says good morning.
How's everybody doing?
Hello. Lots of hellos, lots of mornings. Hi, guys. Oh, we have a Bethany Primrose, and the ringers are running. The mods are here. How are you? Night, but morning. Sorry. Good morning, good evening, and good night. You're one of my favorite artists. Thanks for the inspiration that's fearing. Hello from Nepal.
Thank you.
Nurbik. Say hi to the red pandas for me. Morning, how are you? Good morning, folks. Working on my thesis paper during this live. That's Tracy Kidd.
Oh, fantastic.
We have a Marguerite from British Columbia. Hello from Malaysia. Katie says, good morning, guys. Laura says, hello, I'm good. How are you?
We are doing good, thank you. It's nice to be back, though we did have a good time on our little vacation.
We did. Watching from New Zealand. I bet it's nice and warm down there. Samuel says, hello, I've recently started calligraphy. That's exciting.
Oh, fantastic.
8:35 here from India. I love your art so much, says Brinny Boo.
Oh, thank you.
Are Holland colored pencils any good?
I've never tried them.
We have not tried those. Hi from Ireland. It's 3 p.m. here. Oh, tea time. Have a cuppa with me. Look, it's tea time. I can't help that. Watching from Germany. That's just Tori.
Oh, cool.
Lots of people from India. Good morning from California. Your vacation looks so fun.
Oh, thank you.
I love your art so much, Scott. You're such an inspiration. Do you ever use pastels?
Yeah, I did. I took a class in college and I really liked them, but they were so messy. And I had an uncle who was a really good pastel artist, like insanely good. And but I tried. Those are the chalky ones, is what I'm talking about. I did recently try the oil pastels, but I did not like them.
Goody sent you a tip and said, hello today, good sir. I make a big entrance.
Oh, thank you, Goody. You're too nice.
Hello from Georgia, the state. It's 10 p.m. for me. Hi from Canada. Hi from India. Hi from Croatia. Hi from Sweden.
Hello, everybody.
Boy, you guys are just from everywhere today. I hope you're all doing well. Good evening from Finland. Just wanted to know what is your favorite Beatles song?
Oh, probably either Blackbird or Day in the Life.
How are we doing?
We're doing good. You know, I really had a good time sketching at Disney World. I wish there was more places to sit and sketch in the Magic Kingdom. There just really wasn't one.
Yeah.
That
one was rough.
Yeah, but we really had a good time at Magic Kingdom. And I'm sorry, at Epcot and Animal Kingdom.
I almost thought he wasn't drawing the Beatles and just doodling in his travel journal. Oh no, he's doing the Beatles.
Yeah, it is my travel journal, but
let's see. We buy the zebra brush pens on jetpens.com or
Blick.
Let's see. My friend's birthday's on Monday, and I've been making stickers for her. That's Dina.
That's
nice
great.
I love that.
I'm sure they're gonna love it.
Stuff is great. Galleon Siapon. And I totally mutilated that. Sorry. I recently found out I have autism, just like you.
Oh, it helps so much to know.
You know, guys, it even helps your family members to know, because like when we were there, I was like, are you comfortable? Do you want to do something different? Do you want to go somewhere different? Do you want just knowing how to respond and how to make things better for your people it's really important. What film camera do you have?
Oh, the film camera, the one I did the video is a well, I have a couple, but the ones I used in the video were a Kodak Retina and a Kodak Instamatic.
Hey, Jamie Brown is here. She says, "Welcome home. Missed you guys."
Hey,
Big love.
Jamie, we missed
Hi,
you too.
Jamie. It's nice to be. It was nice to be gone, but it's nice to be home. Let me tell you, it's nice to be home. And I have bought myself a little present.
Oh, she bought herself lots of little presents.
I didn't help myself. I pin trade with the boys. We used to pin trade. So I bought I got to trade a lot of pins. I got teapots and teacups and I got all these cool things. And I bought a mug that I saw like 4 or 5 years ago that I was bummed about that I didn't get. And it's Chip from Beauty and the Beast. He's actually a mug. So I'm drinking my English breakfast tea out of my Chip mug this morning, and I'm obsessed. So there you go. Which color pencil did you like the best?
I actually liked the Karen Dosh. It was really cool.
Surprise, surprise. Frizz says, Scott, you're the best. I'm a small art creator and you give me motivation.
Oh, thank you.
Cassandra says, hello from Canada. I'm glad I could watch this. I love your Hobbit bowl.
Oh, thank you. Glad you were able to make it.
Good morning. Your video about the headphones gave me courage to try wearing mine outside soon. I also figured out I was autistic as an adult. That's Artsy Batbrook.
Oh, that's great. It really helps.
Let me tell you something. I was not diagnosed autistic, and I sat next to him on the plane, and planes are they give me anxiety now. I don't know. Maybe it's because I'm 53. I don't know. But Scott bought me a pair of noise canceling headphones for Christmas. And I wore those on the plane, and I am telling you, they made a difference. They just took all of the anxiety down like about 10 notches. So even if you are not autistic, I think there's something to be said for taking yourself out of situations that give you anxiety. And I think it's awesome.
Yeah.
Your art always inspires me, and your advice is always great. That's Rowan. I loved when you talked about getting bad drawings out of the way.
Yeah. You got to do it.
Original Quiet Potato says, hello, I'm from the Czech Republic. I really love your art style. I love your art choice. So pleasant to look at. Hope you're having a nice day.
Thank you. Same to you.
Why did you start making art and make a channel? Marta wants to know.
I was the TikTok is really where I started all of this. And that was at I think August of 2020. And I think a lot of it was just out of boredom and curiosity. And so I started making like little videos, time lapses of just me making art, and they didn't do very well. And it was actually Santa Claus who told me to get in front of the camera. And that took a lot of, I want to say convincing, but also a lot of convincing myself to do it. And but I eventually kind of learned how to do it and how to feel a little less scared about it, and it just kind of grew from there. But it was never something I intended to do or wanted to do or had aspirations to do. Having 1 million followers was never a goal of mine. I don't consider myself a teacher in any way. So for me, it's just something that kind of happened.
Good morning, Ellen.
Hey, Ellen.
Are you ever going to draw the queen?
The queen.
The queen.
Did they say the queen or queen like the group?
Could you paint or draw a queen one day?
Yes.
Oh, I guess that's the group.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Not too many people asked me to draw the queen.
A lot of people did after she passed away.
Yeah. Yes, I've painted Queen a few times, especially Freddie Mercury. But yeah, we could do that again.
Oh, Jamie can't currently have coffee. She's drinking the winter wake-up tea. That's good. We have a Santa in the chat.
Hey, Santa, I was just telling everybody how you encouraged me to do
Proud
this.
of you, Scott. Welcome back. Beautiful video of your trip.
Oh, thank you.
Hey, if you guys haven't given Santa a follow over here on YouTube, give him a follow.
Santa's the reason why I'm doing this right now.
Yep, he is indeed. How are you 50 and yet you look 30?
Oh, thank you. I guess no smoking, drinking, drugs, things like that. I don't know. It could be genetics. It could be I don't know. I promise you, if I had a secret, I would tell you all.
Oh, Dana Mercury says, good morning. So glad you guys had a nice time at Disney World. We
And we
did.
liked our snacks.
And we loved our snacks.
The video of me eating the ice pop was one of the snacks.
Yes, it was.
Dana
You,
Dana
Dana.
gifted us some snack coupons.
Yep. Yep. She was very sweet. Yes, pin trading, says Megan. We used to do that with our boys like years ago, and I still love to do it. It's great. Can you do a Q&A next?
I think every time we do the lives, it's a Q&A
Yeah.
because we're answering questions. Is there anything in particular you wanted to ask?
Yeah, what are you looking for? That's Crazy Films. What kind of a question do you have? Just pop it in the chat and we'll answer it.
So the reason why I'm doing the Beatles one more time is because I want to do a video talking about why I switched away from colored pencils, because I feel like the videos I just did where we talk about the colored pencils got a lot of people going, oh, I want to buy more colored pencils, or I want to invest in that. And there's a reason why I don't do colored pencils anymore. And so I kind of wanted to talk about that.
Do you want to tell everybody right now?
Yeah. So to do this piece right here, granted it's a little bigger, but to do this one, to do each of these was 90 minutes easily, if not 2 hours, to do each one of these. And they're very literal. Colored pencils are very, very literal, meaning that you put down exactly what you see. There's no feeling of interpretation. And I got really good at colored pencils, and I felt like all I was doing was just copying a photo. Whereas when you do watercolors, you get more of a feeling of the watercolors kind of make it a little more interpretive, I think might be a good word. And I like that. It feels more artsy. It feels more free and loose, and I think that's what art should be. I mean, not as a rule, but that's just where I think it should where it excels. And so that's what I'm going to talk about in the video, is just why I did that. I want to be able to do all 4 of these portraits in 90 minutes if I can. So let's see what I can do, and just kind of just show the speed and the artistry that you can get with watercolors compared to colored pencils.
We have an Emma. She says, afternoon from the English Shire.
Oh, hey, Emma.
We're happy you're here. Emma Johnson, there is a video on Art Block, and try that. That should help. That's in the Art Hacks playlist. Do you use fountain pens? What is your preferred brand for fountain pens?
I don't use fountain pens, but Donna does.
I do. I have a Conklin fountain pen that I absolutely love. They're not cheap, but it was a present. And then I just for Christmas asked for the TWSBI Echo, and that is one that's I haven't inked it up yet because I got sick, but that one is supposed to be a really good basic fountain pen, and I'm hoping to make that my sort of daily driver, so to speak, for being able to write with every day.
So should I paint him first and then go to the next one, or should I ink them all?
I'd ink them all and then paint. I don't know, your choice. Andy says, absolutely love your content. Thank you for sharing. Much love from Germany.
Thank you.
What's your favorite part of the art process?
Finishing a piece. because I'm always so nervous when I start off. Like right now, I'm going. This looks nothing like John Lennon, and I'm not happy with it. And so this is always the part where I go, ugh, why am I even doing this? But let's give it a shot. That's why I think I'm gonna throw some colors on it, because I'm hoping that the watercolors will save it.
Stewart says, hello, Scott. When you drew the Beatles with colored pencils, I was inspired to try to draw Ringo and color him myself.
Oh, that's great. It came out well.
Alexander, what do you
guess what I just did?
What did you do? You just put your thing in the teacup? Oh, you guys were here for it. He put his watercolor paint in the teacup. Well, I guess you're not drinking that.
That's not, I moved it.
That's funny. No offense.
She always puts it right next to the water.
You could have moved it. I put it on the table. Your voice and your famous dad jokes make the channel. Nixie goes, paint in the tea. No, watercolor tea. You can show your old drawing in the next video. Have you thought about drawing animals?
Yeah, I did 30 days of the national animals. There's a playlist if you want to go check it out. Blow dryer.
If you watch Scott, he's using watercolors right now, so you can see how he's painting with watercolors.
So yeah, when you do watercolors, you're going to go light to dark. So I'm doing my light. You saw that first pass is a very light pass of yellow, which is actually Windsor orange.
Yeah.
And now I'm doing a second pass of the same color.
Santa sent another tip. And
thank you, Santa.
There was a package waiting for me. Thank you.
Thanks, Santa. That was a nice surprise.
Sweet. That was a nice surprise. Santa sent us some winter tea, which we will be consuming since it's supposed to snow here today. Go figure, people. We came from 75 degrees in Florida to snow.
Yeah.
What sketchbook do you use?
My favorite is this one. It's by Be Creative, and I love it because I can sketch on both sides. The paper just has a really sturdy feel to it. Mm-hmm. And
you guys should have seen him in Disney World. It was very cute. He's like, should I sit and should we paint? Should I break out the paints or should we walk some more? And I was like, no, break out the paints, it's fine. And then he would get up and he would go stand in the sunshine because he did not bring the portable hair dryer.
I did not, so I had to blow dryer. Okay, so after 2 passes of the Windsor orange, I'm going to do my rose madder, which is my pink. So I'm going to probably do 2 passes of that. First, a light one.
I forgot to read you. Emma's comment was tea with added flavor. Are the Beatles your favorite band, or is it some other band?
I would say they're one of my favorites. I don't know if, it's very rare to say this, this band encompasses everything I love in music totally. So I just don't know if I have that kind of love for one particular band. I like Beatles, I like Def Leppard, I like Queen, I like Huey Lewis and the News, so there's so many, Toad the Wet Sprocket. So there's so many bands. I grew up with Kiss, so these are things that you kind of go, they're definitely one of my favorites. Blow dryer. All right, now I'm going to do one more pass of the rose madder.
I'm going to try not to butcher this name. Massacre says, hi, Scott. I may be the youngest fan of yours. I am 9 years old.
Wow. It was very nice to meet you.
Do you draw or paint? Tell us. I want to know. Scott does not like oil pastels.
No, I've
He does not
tried and failed many times.
Marwa says each person is unique, whether autistic or not, just like yourself. Even if people with autism or ADHD are seen different to me, each person is amazing in their own way.
Oh,
I wish more people in the world, Marwa, looked at that the way you do. I think, and I think Santa would agree. Everybody's special in their own way.
Blow dryer. All right, I'm going to add some brown.
Sorry, I had to let the dog out there. Okay. Y'all. Amy something, you're very sweet. Let's see. Nope, Donna is not responding to comments as Bethany Primrose because I'm not Bethany Primrose. Bethany is one of our mods, and she, along with Emma and Nixia, are wonderful and help me answer all of your questions. Addie, I do have a YouTube channel. I haven't posted on there in a while because I got sick and then we were out of town. But I do have a list of new videos that I'm going to be making. And I'm not like Scott. I'm not going to be posting a video a day, but I might post 1 to 2 videos a week. And I do mostly journal and stuff. So there you go.
All right. So again, trying to keep this quick, which this wasn't very quick because we're already at 9:26.
Did you ever do a chat show on Discord? I don't even know what that is.
Blow dryer.
I thought a blow dryer would lead to moisture reduction and chemical reaction. Well, it does lead to moisture reduction. It dries the paint.
Yeah, it dries the water,
Mm-hmm.
which leaves the paint.
Love the sticker on your blow dryer. You too could have the blow dryer sticker. It is from our crowd made store.
Someone's back.
Already? Okay. Hold on. Now I gotta let the dog back in. Apparently I am door mom today. So hold on.
Okay, and the last thing I'm going to do is add a little bit of purple.
Get cozy. Yeah. It's cold outside. All right. Happy belated 30th anniversary.
Oh, thank you.
Our dog is a rescue. They say she's a beagle and a Jack Russell. But we never did like the testing or anything like that. But she's the baby. Aren't you? Are you the baby? You are. She's not really a baby. She's 11, but Alexander, I don't know which art class. Scott did an art class in Venice in September. If that's what you're asking.
All right, I'm going to leave this for now.
What has happened so far? Well, Scott penciled the Beatles and inked one Beatle, and now he is painting with watercolors. Do you draw anime too?
No, not really. I mean, I did a couple anime characters, in a couple of videos, but not really my thing.
Scott is using the Be Creative notebook. This is his travel journal. Have you ever been on a show? If so, what show?
I've been on a couple shows. Remember, I was on one when they had the Sci-Fi Channel. I was on that one.
That's right. Stars of Tomorrow.
No, that wasn't it. But
That was that was an article in the
yeah,
magazine.
but no, I'm not very good at stuff like that, so I don't see myself doing those too often.
We would love to go to South America. I want to go see Machu Picchu. We've never been to Poland, but I would love to go. We've never been to a lot of places, but they're on our list. And Scott will always bring his paints and paint everywhere we go because that's just what we do. He brings paints and I bring my journals. And Chelsea wants to know if I have tips for keeping up with the journal. Okay, so I will tell you this. I have wanted to keep a journal for years and years and years, and I was very sporadic too. I would forget about mine for months and months and months. But I just set a time like every night after dinner and dishes and everything else that I needed to do. But before I go upstairs to go to bed, I sit down like 8 o'clock, 8:30, whatever, and I write in my journal and I make it fun. I use a pen that I love. I got a big giant date stamp, so I stamp the date on the paper and I put either some washi tape or a sticker for the day in, and I make it fun. So I would say set a specific time and get some supplies that make you happy and try that. But the specific time I think helps more than anything. Have you ever watched Pokemon?
No, we watched the movie with Ryan Reynolds, which was a bit confusing, but
What watercolors are you using?
Windsor and Newton.
Scott does not have a podcast. He has drawn our dog so many times. The first colored pencils Scott used in his art ever were Prismacolors, but he has tried numerous colored pencils here.
Yeah, if you go back 2 weeks ago, I did a couple videos where I drew the Beatles with Prismacolors, Faber-Castell, Caran d'Ache, and Blick brand. But I've also done videos using Artex and Crayola.
If you come to India, you can visit the Nilgiri Mountains, Arunachal Pradesh, Assam, etc. They're very friendly and quiet. Assam tea is world famous. Yes, Assam tea is one of my favorites. I like a good Assam Kenyan blend. I'm not saying that I might be drinking that presently, but I am. And I would love to go to India. Let's see. I loved your Zeltron. I loved your short. Of course, it popped. They loved your short on finding out that you were autistic.
Oh, thank you. I tried not to make a big deal of it this last year because I didn't want to feel like I was capitalizing on it. Yeah. And there's also still a feeling of imposter syndrome too, because I've lived my whole life.
You lived your whole life
without being diagnosed, and then suddenly it's like, hey,
But you lived your whole life trying to figure out ways to make life better. But it's almost like now that you officially know, you took a breath.
Yeah.
And I say this because I can see it because I live with you. You actually took a breath and went, oh, okay, I'm not losing my mind. There really is something that is different that I've been trying to deal with my whole life. So it's not an imposter thing at all. You can finally take a breath and go, okay, I'm not crazy.
Yeah. But it feels to start to just come out and go, hey, everybody, guess what?
I can understand.
Feels a little. And so I tried to, like, I've mentioned it a couple times in some videos, and I know I've mentioned it in the comments.
And here, you mentioned it here.
Yeah, this was just the first time that I kind of talked about it.
Nope, we have never been to India. Scott, your series on the Beatles has been great motivation for me as I'm doing my junior cert art project on the Beatles. Love your work.
Oh, fantastic.
Well, good luck. Choppy.
Why does
The
this...
zebra brush pens. Okay, they can't find them in their local stores, and Blick isn't available to me. Amazon or jetpens.com.
And if not, what were the replacement ones?
Oh, the replacement ones were...
Is it those ones that are sitting there that Stefnerd sent me?
Yes. Where sitting where?
On the desk.
They're on the desk? They're on the desk.
In a plastic bag sitting there.
Ah! Here we go. Okay, yes. All right. Oh, Sakura.
Sakura?
Yes, Sakura Pigma pens. That's what they are.
But basically what you're looking for is you're looking for waterproof.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think you'd love painting in the Galapagos. When I was there, the animals would just sit around with you. Ah! I'm in. Aren't you supposed to use markers after you paint?
No, I like to do them before.
There's no supposed to in art.
Yeah. But I mean, if your inks are not waterproof, then yes, you should do them after you paint. Mine are waterproof, which means if you watch this, I was able to do the paint right over it. So I am going to come back with some highlights and and whatnot on this. This isn't done. I think I just kind of wanted to move on, so at least I can kind of start to see like I'm doing something a little bit more.
Yeah. Julia says keeping a journal is always so hard. Gotta make it a routine. I think once you get into that, like all Scott wants to do is write in his journal, or like paint in his journal, and I do the same. It is a routine, but at the same time, it's almost like it becomes a want to do, not a like. It starts out as I really do want to do this, but sometimes it feels like I have to do. But then you get to the point that you're like, oh, I really want to do this all the time. What is your favorite art supply?
I think what I'm doing right now, which is the ink and watercolors. I really like them.
Okay, so Little Pony says, has Donna showed her face before? So many videos.
Yeah, there's just one yesterday.
Yeah, so many videos.
But not on the lives. We really don't get in front of the cameras on the lives because I don't think you guys are here to see us. You're here to see the art.
Yeah. Yeah, we did hear about Lisa Marie and Jeff.
She was my age.
Yeah, she was 54. Oh, you guys are so sweet. Yes, Donna's gorgeous. You guys are funny. You guys are funny. I like to thank my family for the good genes. You're very sweet. You are my inspiration for my art. Thank you.
Oh, thank you.
Rita is so happy to be on a live with you today. They have had a bad day, and you always.
Oh, I'm sorry. Well, we're sending you big hugs from the Hobbit hole.
Yeah. Did finding out you were autistic help you?
It did. It really did, because when you don't know that everybody doesn't like loud noises or can't focus in a crowded room or can't keep eye contact, and you're just told, don't be rude, suck it up, do this, do that, it's not loud in here, those kind of things, you just think that there's something wrong with you. So my whole life I just thought I just wasn't good enough as everybody else. So
more focused enough.
Yeah, and that was always the teachers would say he's never focused, and he's always daydreaming, and he doesn't pay attention in class, and so I was just not a good student.
And they didn't diagnose people.
Yeah, we just didn't have that back then.
Yeah, they didn't.
So we were.
But also people are much more accepting of that now. I think they used to say things like, oh, he'll never pay attention, or he'll never do this, or, you know, or he's just got the wiggles or whatever it is. And people didn't, back then, they didn't do that.
Yeah.
They didn't understand that. Dan says, I understand me and my dad are autistic and he's 52 and was diagnosed earlier this year, so I suppose he can relate to an extent.
Yeah.
Do you have any advice from you since I'm 14 and autistic? Ugh.
Well, I would say this. Don't ever, ever, ever hide it. Don't ever be ashamed of it.
Mm-mm.
People, look, there's going to be mean people, and there's going to be people who are going to use it as like a slur or whatever. That's on them, not on you.
Yep.
Don't
Don't
ever,
bad.
don't ever be ashamed of it. Use whatever tools that are available to you. If the school has the ability to give you extra time to do things, or to just put you in a quieter room or whatever it might be, anything that's going to help you, take it. Don't let your pride stop you from living a better life, because I know a lot of people want, they don't want to be seen as needing help or something like that. And it, you know what the same thing is, if you think about it, it's like left-handed people. The whole world is created for right-handed people, you know, the desks at school and this and that or whatever. And that doesn't make left-handed people weird. It just means that the world is just more geared towards right-handed people. And I think neurodivergent people need to understand that the world, you know, we're not handicapped in that way so much as we just, the world is more geared towards non neurodivergent people, I guess. So use the tools that are there. That's what they're there for. The fact that you're living in an age where that is, where you know at such a young age, I think is fantastic.
You can learn some tricks to help yourself get through life easier. He has not tried the Schminky watercolors. He has done digital art several times.
I'm going to try a little more, but yeah.
Right now he has used a 4H pencil from Faber-Castell to do the pencils underneath. What kind of tips were you looking for? The question was, can we get some art tips? We have an art hacks playlist that has tons and tons of tips. So, hi, you need to give me, if you have something specific, give me something specific. Otherwise, I don't know how to answer that, or have Scott answer that. Hello from Lebanon.
Hello.
Do you think someone like me who has very, very sweaty hands can draw too?
Oh, absolutely.
Mm-hmm. How would you describe your art style? From my perspective, it looks kind of impressionist.
I think my art style started off comic book. When I was in my teens, I threw a little bit of anime. It definitely has some different illustrators in there, some movie poster styles. You know, it's a combination of a lot of people that I admired and I copied. Then I got, you know, in my 40s, I got into Art Nouveau, and so there's a little bit of Art Nouveau in there. It's really a combination. I think that's what art should be. It shouldn't be a style. I do impressionist style, I do post-impressionist style, but there is a little bit of post-impressionist in there. There's a little bit of pre-Raphaelite, and I think that's what we should be as artists. It's like rap isn't a style; it's a genre. But you could say that, you know, your style is based off of these 3 or 4 musicians, and each of them has something unique about them. Same thing with rock and roll or anything else. So that's how I see it, is we are a combination of the artists that we like. All right, let's get some quick watercolors. And I already think that this George Harrison is much better looking than the one that I did with the Faber-Castells, but I also had to go in and um, put markers to them. So there was that.
Cheryl says, thanks for sharing your autism diagnosis, Scott. It's helpful to hear. My 8-year-old grandson was ASD level 3 and nonverbal, and he was very bright and creative.
Oh,
You know, actually, autistic people are very, very smart and incredibly creative.
from what I understand, the ones that are nonverbal are, from just what little I understand, are dealing with even more so um, the stimulation.
Yeah.
And that's why they're so introvert. That's why they're so nonverbal, is because they're so overly stimulated they can't process it.
You know, I'll be really honest. I have gone through the world my whole life, and until you started telling me that things were too loud, I never noticed. But I have the ability to tune it out.
Well, for the record, you're too loud.
Well, honey, everything's too loud about me, but that's okay. You married me anyway.
Yeah.
But I never noticed it, but I notice it now. And when I see you, like wherever we are, and he'll put his headphones on, and I realize, like, oh, okay, this is like maybe out of his comfort zone kind of a thing. And I think that's kind of a good thing.
Yeah.
If you're on the outside of the person who's been diagnosed, you can help them that way when they say, hey, can we go over here, or can we find a quiet place or something like that. It's good to be able to help them that way.
Blow dryer.
Congrats on the recent autism diagnosis. Neurotypicals often think it's bad to know you're autistic, but every single time it feels like, oh, now everything makes sense.
Yeah. Yes. And thank you.
I just wanted to say I love your art
Thank you.
and who you are. Before seeing your videos, I thought, oh, I'm just bad at drawing. But after I realized that art can never be bad, everyone's art is unique.
Exactly.
I love that. Very well said, Al. Very well said. Being autistic is like being a fish in a world made for dogs. Our brains just work with a different operating system. It's true.
Yeah.
My English teacher in high school is left-handed. He wrote with his arm curled around, and it would have to be the most uncomfortable position ever because his teacher wanted all the papers. Oh, you didn't finish writing that one.
Yeah, I feel bad for left-handed people who had to learn to write, but
especially who were forced to do it with their right hand.
Oh yeah.
Where did you go to get the diagnosis, and who did you talk to?
Oh, there's a specialist, and our general practitioner was able to send us to them.
Amy something says, I started referring to my autism as being neurospicy, and it confuses my every time. Neurospicy, I like
Neurospicy.
that.
Blow dryer.
That's awesome. Literally, it's amazing how they can go from looking jaundiced and weird to normal fairly quickly.
Yeah. It's the pinks.
Bethany was left-handed from kindergarten. Kindergarten teacher made her switch. I still eat and paint left-handed though.
Our son Brendan is ambidextrous. He goes back and forth.
Yeah. Jamie's got to get ready for work. We're happy to be home. We're so happy you're here too. Have a good day at work.
Bye, Jamie.
Love your channel so much. Jeremy says, hello, I'm 12 and have autism and juvenile idiopathic arthritis. When I was 3, the comment cut off. I'm right-handed dominant, but somehow getting carpal tunnel syndrome in my left hand. I bought a brace today. Uh-oh. I'm sorry about that. Is there an art supply you've never tried before, like a glass fountain pen or something?
Oh, I'm sure there's dozens of things I
Yeah.
haven't tried before. Um,
Yeah. You have tried the dip pens. You don't like them. Yeah.
I'd never tried Poscas before.
Mhm.
I'd never tried those ink markers.
I'm scared of blow dryers for some reason. You guys are funny. IEP says, I'm sorry if this is a little too personal, but does it ever feel weird seeing things change in front of your eyes as you grow older?
You mean the world or myself? Blow dryer.
Cheryl says, whoops, it cut me off. Unfortunately, my grandson passed away suddenly from a serious illness. My art helps me through our loss.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Cheryl, I'm just so sorry. I'm so sorry.
That's just horrible.
I'm glad you can find some solace in that. That doesn't make any sense to me. Children passing away makes no sense to me. Do you like DC Comics? One of my biggest special interests is comics and superheroes in general. Who's your favorite superhero?
Growing up, it was always Spider-Man, but for DC, it's either Batman or Superman.
Fiber and Brimstone says, and thank you for showing that fully functioning adults are autistic. The infantilization of autism is infuriating and problematic. I think it's just because people don't understand it.
Yeah.
They don't. I mean, and honestly, it's not easy to understand stuff when you're not going through it.
Again, I think the world I grew up in was not built for things like diagnosis of autism and accepting that. So I'm happy that this generation is more open to that, as well as other things. And so I think the world in that way is getting better. And we have to hold on to that and make sure that it doesn't go backwards to where it's considered, a weakness.
Well, I think people nowadays are just, I'm not going to say people, I'm going to say younger people nowadays are accepting of everybody.
They're learning to accept their differences, and they're
Right.
learning to
Embrace
it
Yeah.
in a way that
That our generation never did.
our generation wasn't allowed to. I think we
Yes.
would have.
But we weren't allowed to.
we
Yeah, you're
were
right.
we were the 80s. I mean, we
Right.
would have if we were given the chance. But
They tried to put us in a box because
Yeah.
that's what the boomer generation wanted. They wanted us to follow exactly in their footsteps. And I don't know. I like to think that I'm proud of us at 53 and 54 for being open. And I'm proud of us for always wanting to learn. And
yeah,
I'm proud of us for not fitting into that box. You
Yeah.
know, I don't ever want to stop learning. I don't ever want to stop growing.
I envy our kids though, who are growing up in a world where they can be themselves so
Exactly.
much better.
Yeah, exactly. But that being said, we can embrace that too. And
Yeah.
we can be that older generation that embraces that for them. And that's what I want to be. I don't want to be the grandma age, and be like, you should do it this way.
Yeah.
You're doing it wrong. I just want to be like, hey, whatever, we love you regardless. And I think that's important. Nixia, the page on the left does look like Dragonblight. Nope, you're not crazy. Absolutely it does. That is Pandora World. And it does look like Dragonblight, which is kind of funny. What type of noise canceling headphones do you use?
I bought the Bose 700s.
Those are the ones that, why do I keep forgetting her name? She draws
Oh,
those.
Sound of the Forest.
Sound of the Forest. Thank you. Yeah, she uses those, and those help her a lot. Jeremy says, "Believe me," and try to put my mom. Okay, I don't know the first part of that. Oh, Jeremy has a wood carving business, and you are their favorite artist. Thank you.
Oh, thank you.
Love your art and your videos. You take time to make good quality videos to entertain us, and you are inspiring. Oh,
Thank you.
No, he never washes his color palette. He never washes his brushes. He never cleans anything. He's lucky if every once in a while
this has been never cleaned.
20 years, 30
Not
years.
I've only had it for 10.
Sure. Yeah. Oh, ADHD Ducko says, one of my younger brothers is autistic and he's very creative. He has made little comic books with stick figures, which I think is very cool. As an artist myself, I have been giving him art lessons. Oh. You are a wonderful big brother. That is phenomenal. You can still see it. Annie Lynn says, just popping in to say, it's fine, we can see it fine. To say I'm really proud of you for being so open about your recent self-discovery. It's a wonderful thing to see how successful and talented all kinds of people can be.
Oh, thank you.
No.
So again, just to give you guys, these are about 90% done. I'm just kind of moving on before I'll come in with the highlights and just some cleaning up. I'm just trying to, I want to see if there's only 30 minutes left, but I want to see how far I can get to kind of get through these. And then that way I can do a video later today comparing that to the colored pencils. And I just want to talk about, the reason why I'm doing this is I want to talk about the efficiency that paint can give you compared to colored pencils, and also just the looseness, like these like little dots here to indicate, you know, just some shades that you couldn't do here. I have to go in and physically draw that. The cool kind of layering of the shadows here, whereas here instead I've kind of got it, and again, this was done with markers on top of the colored pencils, but I like the richness of this, but it feels very literal. Whereas I think once I get the inking and the colors, it's going to be a little looser. And that's what I'm going to talk about in the video, is just the fact that.
Do you like the looseness of it? Do you like, does it allow you to play more?
It's about, for me, it's about being, it's taking it away from a photograph as much as possible. I still hate that my art is still very close to a photograph, and that's not something I want it to be. And so that's why I try to, like, I adore caricature artists. I adore people who can make something that you go, that's totally that person, but the face is so distorted that you know that you would never mistake it for a photograph or anything like that. That's what I'm looking for in my art, but I just haven't been able to capture that kind of style yet. But for me, I'm always trying to interpret a photo rather than copy a photo. And I think I could do that better with ink and watercolor than I could with colored pencils. I think with colored pencils, I'm always caught up copying a photo. There's less room for artsiness.
Scott's been doing art since he was 6 or 7 years old. He was never really into Percy Jackson. Let's see. Queer to the End says, I'm autistic and art was my way to escape the pressures of school. That's totally understandable. Silly says, hi Scott, your video about autism earlier today was really inspiring and enlightening for me. Thank you.
Oh, thank you.
What do you think of Beast Boy from the Teen Titans?
I thought it was pretty cool. I always loved anybody who could turn into animals.
What's your opinion about AI art? How can the artist survive with this?
Artists survived the advent of photography. We survived Photoshop. We survived digital art. Um, it's fine.
It's theft.
I know, but eventually it's not gonna be. Eventually the AI is gonna be smart enough to create stuff from itself. Right now it's theft, but eventually it's gonna get better. And I think it's cool. I mean, I love technology. I love that stuff. But I think people are always going to want an original piece of art. And that's why I like traditional art. I think for production, yeah, there's I mean, I genuinely feel that movie productions and I think short films and I think just entertainment itself is going to be AI generated. In fact, you're going to be able to say, hey, I want this character doing this, doing that, blah 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 blah, and you'll come out with a little movie. um, I just think that's just going to be the norm at some point, but there'll always be a need for artists or desire for something real.
Joy, despite the journey, is here.
Hi, Joy.
Hi, Joy. We're happy to be back with you guys. A gender alien says, me and my mom are both getting back into art and like to paint together. Oh my God, I love that.
Yeah, that's great.
That's fantastic. Living Machine says that we are inspiring. I'm a young artist myself, and watching your videos always gives me ideas.
Oh, that's great.
I love that. Sudesh says never uses paint, only once, mainly uses colored pencils. Whatever your favorite medium is.
Oh yeah, yeah. And remember, I'm the video I'm going to make and what I'm talking about here is my own personal experience. But I thought rather than I think it's always good to hear of somebody's experience and why they experienced it, so that way you could go, oh, I either accept that or I like that and I want to learn more about it, or I don't like that and that doesn't in any way mean anything to me. But having that information is key because I didn't have that growing up. I was just adamant that colored pencils were the thing. It was the thing that I felt the most comfortable with. And then after a couple decades, I was just like, I'm bored. I feel like there's no place more to go. I've peaked, and so that's why I just want to just make that video.
Okay. Abby loves the looseness because it's like seeing the subject through your eyes, and that's beautiful.
Thank you.
Jeremy wants you to draw from his phone.
Oh, I have several times.
Ellen says, did you guys miss doing the lives? So glad you had time off to celebrate, but my schedule was off without you.
Yeah, we did miss you all.
Every time we don't go live, it does feel weird. I will just say that. It feels a little like we're supposed to be doing this. It's just weird. And we miss talking to you guys and hearing, your comments and everything. So, and Box TV is here.
Hey, Box TV.
Emojis. And Richard says, good morning, welcome back. I've missed you guys.
Hey, Richard, we missed you too.
What kind of video games do you like?
I like Zelda, but though I've just been waiting for years for the new Breath of the Wild, and Overwatch. And hopefully Donna and I and our son are going to get back into World of Warcraft too.
Ooh. Yes, let's do that pretty please. I'm thankful to you people as you helped me in art even when I started to make portraits, starting with yours. So
oh, thank you.
I'm 15 and I've loved the Beatles since 5th grade. You're so funny.
That's a good upbringing.
Do you have any tips on starting with watercolor and or gouache?
Yes, with watercolor, you're going to work from light to dark. And with gouache, you're going to work from your midtones to your darks and then end up with your highlights. And there's a couple videos on them in the Art Hacks playlists.
What game were you playing on your Game Boy in your YouTube short?
That's called Tetris, and it's really fun.
Scott does not play Minecraft. Our boys play Minecraft, but he does not play Minecraft. What is the best paint for canvas? I want to try a new medium.
Ooh, you might want to ask Bethany.
That is a Bethany Primrose question. Scott likes paper. He does not like canvas. I want to figure out how to use colored pencils, but I don't really want to draw realistic stuff.
Yeah, that's the thing. I've had a hard time not doing realistic stuff with colored pencils, and I don't know if colored pencils are the best thing if you don't want to do realism. I think watercolor is better for that and cheaper.
I'm going to be back. I'm thinking about making tea. Oh, Addie, that's always a good thing. Please go make tea. That's important. You should play the Fallout series if you love RPGs.
I do. I'm not a fan of post-apocalyptic anything. Like I like, that's why I like Zelda. It's bright, it's happy, it's colorful. Even Overwatch is colorful, and for the most part, even World of Warcraft is very colorful. And for me, I like my movies, I like my books, I like my games to be happy places. I understand that there's conflict and bad stuff is happening and we've got to go resolve it, but I like something that doesn't remind me of the meanness and the horribleness of human beings.
Yeah, it needs to be an escape from the real world. I didn't know you were autistic. Scott didn't know he was autistic.
I didn't know either. Yeah.
Let's see. People like your inking.
Oh, thank you.
Bethany says post-apocalyptic feels way too real world lately.
Yeah.
Something cheerier. It kind of does. I mean, I hate to say it, but there's a lot of stuff going on in the world, and honestly, like, it's funny. That was one of the best things about going to Disney is you just feel like you're in happy zone. You're like in the happy place.
Yeah.
I mean, it is the happiest place on earth, but still, you just kind of avoid the real world for a while, which is nice. Random question to both of you. What's your favorite Spider-Man costume?
Oh, gosh.
The 1960s Spider-Man cartoons. That's the costume for me.
Costume? Well, yeah, I love the classic, but I still have my copy of Secret Wars number 8, where Spider-Man gets the black costume, and I always thought that was a really cool looking costume.
Okay.
Before it became a symbiote.
I'm also going to a new school, and they have an art club. Yay! Oh my God, that's so exciting!
Yeah, congrats.
Definitely for all of you kids out there, all of you youngins, so to speak, who are still in school, find something, find a club, find a group, find something that you connect with. That's so important. So important. That is a zebra brush pen that Scott is using right now.
Yeah, so I could do all my inking first, and
Okay.
then I could come back in and do the watercolors on top of it.
Dana wants to know what medium you'd recommend for a young artist, gouache or watercolor?
Watercolor. Watercolor is simpler. It's and if you don't like it or if you want more, then you can move up to gouache.
Do you have a Facebook handle? I painted a dwarf the other day, and I'm going to ask my mom if she can post it and tag you. Yeah, we're just S Saba Art on Facebook. Same as the website.
I don't check it, but Donna does.
I do. I check it. I'll show him. Is acrylic paint easier to use, or is watercolor easier?
Watercolor is definitely easier to use.
I'm actually seeking a certificate in visual arts.
Oh, that's great.
That's great. What are the exact tubes of acrylic gouache that you use only to paint and halfway from the Devil Wears Prada?
You've asked that before, and I've answered it. It's whole beam acrylic gouache.
And they can find those in your art supply list, correct?
I don't think we have those in the art supply because I just don't do acrylic
wash.
wash very often.
Do you have any advice on how to start studying for the ACT? Like,
No.
you know what? Our boys did prep classes at school. They had prep classes for that. There's books you can use to prep. But you know what? One test does not make your whole life. It just doesn't. And I hate it that those stupid standardized tests are still so important. It drives me crazy. Because I don't think they measure anything.
I hated school.
It's my humble
Hated
opinion.
school, hated testing, never did well at any of it.
I didn't hate school, but I hated standardized testing. It literally made me sick to my stomach. And I don't understand the need for a standardized. All it shows is how you can take a test. That's it. It doesn't tell them anything else.
Blow dryer.
That's it. How did you get so good at drawing and when did you start?
I started at the age of probably 6 or 7, and you get good by just doing it every day. And the other thing is that I lost probably a good 10 years trying to draw my original character out of my head. That's all I would do, is I would just sketch the same character over and over and over again, trying to get better at it, as if like practicing that was going to make me a better artist. And it didn't. All it did was it just made me get really good at drawing that one particular character in that one particular pose. I could have used that time drawing the world around me and learning how to draw everything. And that's when you start to get better. Is before this, I'd never drawn Paul McCartney before. So I didn't have to practice him for years to get good at it. I just needed a photograph, look at the photograph and do that. And that's what drawing everything every day does for you. You can draw what you see. And I think that's the best thing. So I would say get a sketchbook and fill it with drawings of just everyday things. It could be cars, it could be a bottle of ketchup, it could be a dog, it could be anything.
Salt and pepper shaker.
Yep. Blow dryer.
Your lovely wife. Okay. Speaking of Disney, do you like any of their movies in particular? Anything Winnie the Pooh and Beauty and the Beast. Only the cartoon. I mean, the live action was okay, but really, seriously, the cartoon was better. Your turn.
Gosh. Little Mermaid was a good one for me. I'm trying to think of any live action ones that I really liked.
I don't like
Tron. Tron Legacy. My son and I really liked that one.
Have you ever applied highlighter markers in artwork?
Highlighter markers. I think so. Depends on what you mean by highlighter markers.
Yeah, I don't know.
Because we do.
You're talking about like highlighters like you'd highlight in a book? What's your favorite subject to paint besides your wife? I added that last part.
Yeah, I figured. Anything with hair. I love hair. I like people, but like when we travel, I like to paint what just sit and paint things. It's the only time I really like painting environments, landscapes, is when I'm somewhere. I think because it just means more.
Bethany says the whole being acrylic wash is indeed on the art supplies list. We added it after that.
Oh, fantastic. Thank you. Blow dryer.
guys, are the inspo pictures you use for each of the Beatles from the same year?
I tried to get them all from around the same year, around 1970. I think Paul's might be a little younger because around that time he had a beard. But I was just looking for pictures right around the time right before they broke up.
Okay, I'm gonna blow through a couple of questions. Scott has drawn Wonder Woman numerous times.
Yeah, both Wonder Womans.
Gal Gadot and Linda Carter, but I mean, it's hard not to love Gal Gadot, but Linda Carter's the original. So, sorry, I was asking for the exact colors.
Oh gosh, no, I wouldn't know. You'd have to go and watch the live and
No. The
see.
exact colors for the whole bean.
Yeah, you'd have to go and what they want for that particular painting.
Okay.
You'd have to look at the live and see, but I have no idea. I don't. When it's watercolors, I use the same 12 colors, but the
whole bean is different.
acrylic gouache and gouache, I use whatever and I mix them and everything.
Okay, the blow dryer. He always screams blow dryer before he does
blow dryer.
Okay, so what was the process of getting diagnosed and how was it to be diagnosed so late in life? Okay, first of all, we're not late in life, we're midlife. Just gonna go there right now.
We're late in life.
We're not late.
So the process was pretty interesting. It was one-on-one with a doctor, and then a lot of like computer stuff. They would have you do different tests on a computer and whatnot. And then the last thing was a written test. Not a written test so much as like a true or false test, which was really weird because it was stuff like sand is evil, true or false. So it was really some weird stuff. But yeah, I think a lot of it was observe, like the doctors would just observe how you handled the questions or the tests, because some of the tests were purposely really annoying and make you get bored and things like that.
I'm new here. What's going on?
Hello, new here.
Actually, that's gaming Sophie. That person is new. Scott's painting. That's what we do here. We paint. Well, we don't paint. Scott paints. I talk. There, Coral 23. There is a video on Art Block and a video on Scott being inspired. We do have a pet. We have one dog. Her name is Arwen. She is a Beagle and a Jack Russell mix. She's a rescue. She's 11. Yeah, James says, I don't like the IQ test they gave us back in school. It made me feel bad about myself and doubt my ability. You know what? You should never doubt your ability, especially based on a test. Ever. Because tests like that are just
poopy.
Yes, poopy. Scott is standing up while he paints. Right. Yes, he has tried colored pencil paper. What do you do now for income? Do you do YouTube full time, or do you do art for private companies or something else? Boy, you guys are curious, aren't you?
Yeah, this was actually 2022 was the first year we ever made a living doing social media.
Yep, and we've always had other jobs. Either I've worked, Scott's done just about everything: video games, movie stuff, writing, directing, producing, you name it, he's done it. What shade of paint do you use for the skin tones?
There's a video for that, but it is it's Windsor Orange and Rose Madder.
How do you get more efficient at making art?
That is a good question. I try to. I like efficiency. I really do. And so I try to find ways to, I don't want to say cut corners, but try to find ways that will help me be able to make art quicker, and that's why I think watercolor is so good at that. You can cover large bits of area very, very easily.
All right. Oh, like what you'd used to. No, he's never used a highlighter like that to like the ones you annotate in a book. No,
Oh,
he's
no.
never used those in art. We have not watched Puss in Boots. Scott
Not the
has
new one. We watched the
yeah,
original
the
one.
original, but not the new one. He has never painted with makeup. You can see our dog in some other videos, but the camera is mounted on a tripod on the floor now, so we can't move that like we used to be able to do that. He doesn't plan anything he's painting, guys. We keep telling you this, but literally he gets up in the morning and goes, what am I gonna paint today? And there we are. Let's see. What's the best way, in your opinion, to motivate yourself to draw or paint?
Oh, God, that's a little too much. I would say for me, I want to draw and paint every day. So there's that. But I would say if you're having a hard time with that, come up with a deal with like make your sketchbook a a challenge, like the hair journal or 60 days of studying the masters or something along those lines. Those help. They really do. All right, 10:21. I think I can get um, Ringo inked.
Do you have any favorite online artists? And he has tried the Winsor & Newton markers. Do you have any favorite online artists?
Yeah, I like James Gurney, Kim D.S. Holm, Alex Ross, though I don't really see his stuff online much. Yeah.
Artsy Bat, there is a video on eyes in the Art Hacks playlist. Check that out. That should help. No, Scott's never done any paintings that are 1 to 2 meters. He's never done anything that big. Yes, we sell his art on the ssagaart.com website. He went to art school at Academy of Art in San Francisco. If you check the CrowdMade website, we have stickers there. He has drawn our dog so many times, mostly because I've asked him to. Let's see. Do you use fine liners or slim brushes with black paint for outlines?
No, I just like the zebra brush pens.
I'm excited to learn that you are autistic like I am. You're my favorite artist.
Oh, thank you.
Have you tried playing Magic the Gathering?
I don't think I ever have. I mean, it was available to me, but no one ever really sat me down and spent the time with me. Like I didn't have a friend who was so into it that they're like, you got to play it. I have played other games. There was a Star Wars game. There was an X-Files game. I've worked on several games before.
What tips would you give someone who wants to start an art channel?
Find something that you like to do and that you're going to want to do a lot of. You don't want to, like, I keep trying to avoid, hey, today I'm testing this material out or this paint out. I also don't like to do, here's 6 easy steps on how to draw this perfectly. I'm not that kind of person. So I'm trying to do the things that make me happy, talk about things that are personal, and kind of create my own space. So I would say do that. Don't put yourself in a position where you're doing something that you hate, because it's going to make making art not fun. You don't want that.
I'm drawing a sunset right now for a school project. Do you have any advice?
No, have fun. Just I hope you're using like a photo reference or something.
Um, let's see. I'm a student in the last year of high school. Due to a lot of exam stress, I can't paint to relax myself. What do you suggest?
Try a journal. Try just keeping a sketch journal. So that way
You
it,
can even have a small little sketchbook, right?
yeah,
With kind
you
of stuff,
could
that's it.
write inside it. You
Mhm.
can paint, you can draw, just do it for you. But as long as it gets you sketching every day and making art every day, you'll feel like you did something, and you'll have something to look back on.
This is my first time in a live chat. Who are the people answering our questions in the chat? Those are our mods, and they are friends of ours, and they they're in blue, and they have a little wrench next to their name, and they know questions because the answers to the questions because they're our friends.
Because he cheated.
Yeah, they cheated. They're our friends. What do you think of Cicely Mary Barker's work, the flower fairy artist?
I never heard of
Who
her.
that is? Yeah. Do you regret selling or throwing out anything art related?
Um, every once in a while, you go, "Oh, I wish I hadn't sold that piece." But I've never regretted throwing anything out. They deserved it.
Even though 1.5 million subscribers isn't really a milestone, you're planning to do something when you hit it. We are not doing anything when we hit 1.5 million, says the wife, because now that we are sort of back and regrouping, we are going to be giving away a bunch of art supplies that we either have been gently used or that we've been gifted over the last year. And I'm going to start putting those packages together, and we are going to be giving those away. That is our January thing that we're going to be doing. Scott does not do critique videos. There is a video in the Art Hacks playlist on how to draw noses. Check that out. Are you ever really happy with your art? No.
I would say, in general, no. But that's just being an artist. We always want it to be much better. Now that said, every once in a while, you're pleasantly surprised, where it's like, hey, that didn't suck as bad as I thought it would, and you're happy with that, and those become your favorite pieces. They become the pieces that you make prints of. They become the pieces that you keep, or you get framed. So, and that's why we do it, is those ones that don't suck as bad.
Let's see. They want to know what white medium you recommend for outlining the watercolors. White gel pens rarely work for me. This is Amanda.
Yeah, the ones that I use the most are the Uniball Signo. They give you the whitest white. That's like where you'll see these little white lights there. Uh, I don't like them because they're so thin and they're sometimes inconsistent. I'm trying different ones, like the Artex acrylic markers. I've tried the Poscas. I it is what it is. There hasn't been one that is the best. Uh, there's an artist I follow. Her name is Sarah, and she tried like 90 of them, and she recommended these artistros, and I found that they were good. I did not find that they were fantastic because, again, they're the shaky Posca kind of things.
And we know Scott doesn't like
I don't like the shakies. But that said, I think it is one of those quest for the best that us artists are always on.
I lost the question. Oh, here it is. Marching to the Seventh says, what advice could you give for dealing with subtle variations in tone on forms?
You could do that. It depends on the medium that you're using. It could be line weight, it could be color. I mean, I like line weight when I'm inking, of course, and with watercolor, I like to add a little bit of purples in the shadows and stuff like that. But it's either color or line weight, depending on what medium you're working with.
Okay, a couple of people have given suggestions on how to get motivated. I don't recommend going to stressful places to get motivated. That completely turns me off, and then I don't write at all. Lean Arts motivates themselves by getting out a sketchbook and jumping into the lives. That's very cute.
Okay.
There are videos on how to draw hair in the Art Hacks playlist. June just learned that you're autistic, and they are too, and finds it awesome that I have someone who I seriously look up to who has autism like me. It's genuinely made me so happy.
Oh, thank you. I'm glad to hear that.
Pravesh says, I used colored pencils of Dawn's a few days ago, and it turned out really bad, so I'm trying more and more. Any motivation, please? Love from India.
Motivation for colored pencils?
Mm-hmm.
Gosh, colored pencils are fun, but they might not
press hard to blend.
It's a lot of work. The one thing about colored pencils is, like I said, it is a lot more work than painting, and so keep that in mind. And you just might find yourself saying, you know what, this is not for me. So be open to that. Be open to saying, I don't like this.
I don't think we've been to enough places to be able to tell you what our favorite place is, but Venice was pretty much near the top.
Yeah, Venice was really cool.
Mm-hmm. Do you think NFTs are hurting artists, helping them, or neither?
Neither. I think they're inconsequential. Mm-hmm. I'm very happy for artists who are able to find their way in it. But I just think in general, they haven't really made an impact.
Did you ever draw your wife before?
Once or twice.
Do you have any general life advice?
Be kind.
Mm-hmm. Enjoy your days. They go faster than you can ever imagine. What's the hardest thing for you to draw?
Hands and feet.
Scott does not like cooking, but we got a bread maker. We got ourselves a bread maker for Christmas, and he's been making bread ever since.
I'm the bread man.
Scott really doesn't take recommendations on things to draw.
Blow dryer. All right.
The giveaway is not live yet. Give me some time. We just got back yesterday. I got to get all those together. Probably next week. Yes, the live will end
any second now.
Yeah.
And poof.
Scott
No. Yeah, I'm just gonna quickly throw some colors on this. I'm gonna finish these after the live, make a video. But really, this was just to kind of demonstrate the differences between watercolors and colored pencils and why I switched.
Scott just likes to do the inking first. That's just how he likes to do it.
It's like making my own coloring book.
Yeah, he just likes to do it that way.
Well, here's the thing. If you don't, then what you're doing is that you're painting over your pencils, and then your ink lines have to go over your pencils. Otherwise, you're going to still see your pencil lines. And because once you put paint over the pencils, you can't erase those pencils. That's why I do it.
Yeah. He has drawn Snoop Dogg. He's never drawn the Dalai Lama.
Blow dryer. Did the painting of Snoop Dogg sell, or is it still on our? Okay. Okay.
Yeah, it's gone. What's your favorite color?
Payne's Gray.
Let's see. 300 GSM is going to be best for watercolor. Let's see. Thanks for giving me the link, the info on the zebra brush pens a while ago on LinkedIn. Our vacation was great. Thanks for asking. I didn't want to come home, but that's only because I wish I could live at Disney. What do you recommend? I want a kind of mini art set to bring outdoors, just like Scott does.
There is a link in the or in my art supplies list for the Cotman, which is the student brand version, which is only $25, and it's identical in every way to the one that I use, other than being the student paints. The other one that you could do is the grabby one. All right, blow dryer.
How do you be kind to yourself art-wise? Sam would like to know. That's a good question.
That's a good question. So the way you be kind to yourself is by accepting that your art isn't going to be as good as you want it to be, but also accepting that it's better than it used to be. That's it. You know, we're always trying to improve, and that's a good thing. But we get so frustrated that we're not as good as we want to be that we don't take stock in the fact that we are now so much better than we used to be. So I think you know, you need to just know that artists are never going to be satisfied. You're just not. And then once you accept that, you start to be satisfied with who you are.
What's your goal for the new year?
I think my goal is to I want to make content that makes people happy, that gets people making art. So I think what I did last year made me feel really good, and I want to keep doing that. I'm going to call this done for now. I've probably got another 30 minutes of just cleaning this up and finishing up.
Noodling.
Yeah. But, you know.
So here's the deal. Let me blow through a couple of these really, really quick. There is a video on being motivated to draw. What is that one called? I can't remember that.
I don't remember.
Okay, try the Art Hacks playlist. That should help you. There is a list of all of our art supplies that Scott uses on the website in the under resources, art supplies. There's a list of my journaling supplies there too. You gave Snoop away in the last giveaway.
Oh, I did. Okay. Okay.
The inks don't bleed into the watercolors because the
inks are waterproof.
And yes, Scott has another job besides being a full-time YouTuber. He works on projects for animation and different things like that. So not entirely about YouTube. So we like to be entirely about YouTube, but it's not realistic as far as, being able to like pay the bills. So especially with 2 kids in college. So there we are. All right. So it is 10:39 and we are going to let you guys go. And
thank you for hanging out with us.
Thanks. Yeah. Thanks for being here today. We appreciate all of you.
We will see you on Monday. All new stuff.
Yep. And thanks for, for putting up with us being gone.
Yeah, thanks for while we took a few days off.
And now we're back into the new year, and we hope. Oh, Kevin Colson's here because it's Happy Friday.
Hey, happy Friday, Kevin.
Happy Friday.
And happy weekend to everybody.
wait, why are they ending unconfused? Because we're done.
We've been doing this for 90 minutes.
Yeah.
So
So
I'll
Scott
finish this up after.
He stands the whole time, so that's why. But we will see you guys on Monday. All right. Thanks so much, everybody. Have a great weekend.
Bye.